Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we will see stored procedures in SQL. So a stored procedure is a set of SQL statements that you can save and reuse again and again. Think of it as a function in programming. Once you return, you just call it whenever needed. So stored procedures works like functions. You can save stored procedures into database and you can call whenever it is required. It can accept input parameters, returns output, and even contains loops or conditional logic. This makes your database code reusable. Because of stored procedures, your database code is reusable, faster, and easier to manage. So we'll see one example through which we will understand syntax of stored procedures, how we create stored procedures in SQL. So to create stored procedure, we write create procedure. To create procedure, we write create procedure command and we give name to our procedure. So we can get all employees through our procedure, and then we give name to our stored procedure. Here we will give get all employees and as begin end. So in begin and end we will write whatever we want to achieve from this stored procedure. From here I want to get all employees, so we'll select star from employee table. If you want to see in your database how much stored procedures are created, you can go to your database, whatever. Here we are in code, then in programmability, in stored procedure section you will see stored procedures. These are system stored procedures, but if you have created any stored procedure, then it will come here. Now we have created our first stored procedure. We'll execute it. Execute. So we'll refresh our database, and here we can see get all employees. This stored procedure is created now. We can call this stored procedure whenever it is required. So now we'll see how we can call our stored procedure. We will simply write a command exec, which means execute, and then we'll give our stored procedure name which we want to execute, get all employees. And if I will run this command, I will get all employees from employee table. So we can see these are the employees which are stored in employee table. So here what is happening, we have created a stored procedure get all employees, and in this stored procedure we are selecting all employees from employee table, and whenever we will execute this command we will get employee table. So we can reuse this stored procedure wherever we want to get all employees from employee table. So next point we will see how we can add parameters to our stored procedure. If you want to prepare a stored procedure and you want to get employees from their department name, you want to pass department name as a parameter in your stored procedure. We will create a stored procedure, create procedure, and we'll give name get employees by department and as begin and end. So in between begin and end we will write our logic. So now we want to find out employees whose department name will be input parameter for this procedure. So we can add input parameters like department, and it will be of type varchar. Let's give it as a 40, and now we want to select star from employee where department इक्वल टू जो भी डिपार्टमेंट हमें पैरामीटर में मिलेगा इनपुट पैरामीटर में, that we will compare with department in employee table. So this stored procedure will return employees which are from specific department. Whatever department name we will pass while calling this stored procedure, those employees we will get. So now we will execute this stored procedure. After refresh, we will get one more stored procedure in this section. So to call this stored procedure, whenever we will have input parameter in specific stored procedure, while calling this stored procedure we have to pass those parameters. So same way, like we will write exec execute get get employee by department. Now it will give you error. Procedure or function expects parameter. So department parameter is expected for this store procedure. So we'll pass that dpt equal to, we'll pass IT department here and semicolon. Yes, now we'll get those employees whose department is IT. We'll execute this. So we can see these are the 4 employees whose department is IT, and we have got this from our store procedure. So this is how we can create store procedures with input parameter. So there is one more thing in store procedures. You can return some value from store procedure. That also we can achieve from store procedures. So like from functions also we can return specific value. Like this we can return from store procedures also. So we'll see one more example. We'll comment this. So we'll see example get. So we will get total number of employees from a store procedure. I want to return total number of employees from my store procedure. To do that we will add out parameter while creating store procedure. So create procedure and we will give name sp get employees count. So here we will add out parameter count and it will be of type integer and we will give it as out, or we can mention it as output. Then we can we can add as begin end. So count is our output parameter. Whatever we will whenever we will execute this store procedure, it will return count value of all. Now we will write a query to store value in count variable. So select count equal to count aggregate function we can call for to get total number of employees, count star from employee table. So here count is our output parameter and we are storing count of all employees in count parameter. Now we will execute this and we will create this store procedure. Now we can call this store procedure by writing command execute sp get employees count. Now it requires output parameter. So we need to declare one parameter, declare total and it will be of type integer. And now we'll pass this total in our, now we will pass count equal to total, this parameter into our count. So count is our output parameter. We will pass total to store value of count and we will mention it as out. It is output parameter, so we need to mention this out. And now we will print. If we will execute this, we will get total count of employees from employee table. So it is 20. So in this way, we can pass output parameter to our stored procedure. We can give multiple input parameters to our stored procedure and we can call our stored procedure whenever it is required, and we can reuse the same code again and again. So in this way, in same way, we can add conditional statements with if else, and we can add conditional statements to our stored procedure like if else conditions. Then we can add loops to our stored procedures. So according to our requirements, we can write our stored procedures and we can execute them and reuse them whenever it is required, and we can call them wherever we want to call them. So next point is, if you want to modify existing stored procedure, then you can simply do alter procedure. Alter procedure will make sure that it will alter your existing stored procedure. If you execute this, it will work as expected. So if you are like, if you want to change anything in your stored procedure logic, if you want to change logic or you want to add something else, if your requirements are changed and you want to write some more logic in your stored procedure, you can simply alter your stored procedure using alter procedure command, and you can execute it. So this is how we can update our existing stored procedure. If you will try to create existing stored procedure, it will give you error that stored procedure is already existing. So it will give you error that this object name is in the database, because the stored procedure is already created. This stored procedure is already created into the database, so it will give you that error. So that's why if you want to change anything in your existing stored procedure, you can write alter command, and to drop existing stored procedure, you can write drop procedure and give procedure name, and you can execute this to drop your stored procedure. And now if I will try to execute this, it will not work. It will say the stored procedure could not found, because we have dropped this, we have executed this drop stored procedure command. It will delete from database and you have to create it again to use it. So this is how we can alter our stored procedure and drop our stored procedure. So this is for today's video. If you like this video, do like to the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.